Hey everyone, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I am your tarot reader, Cody. So for today's pick a card, we're going to be doing What Do They Think of You? I got some suggestions for pick a cards recently, and I thought this would be a good one to do based on those suggestions. It's going to give you a little clue into not only their motivations, but kind of like their attitude. So kind of like where they're coming from and what they want from you. And then also on the flip side, just what do they think of you? What's their opinion of you? That kind of thing. So hopefully we get a common message with those two themes and maybe a little bit of a blending of those two themes. So you get a good idea of like how this person looks at you and stuff like that. So for the groups, we have 4 groups in front of us. We have this green Jade for group number 1. Then we have this rose quartz for group number 2. Then we have this blue Kyanite for group number 3. Then we have this yellow Apatite for group number 4. Please take all the time you need to pick your crystal. You can pause the video here if you need to. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to pick your crystal. Whatever way works for you is the way that, works for you. So, without further ado, let's get into the reading. And yeah, you can pause the video here if you need to. Not sure if I already said that. Anyway, we can get into the reading starting with group number 1, the green Jade. Hey, group 1, this is if you picked the green Jade right here. So let's get into your reading. I'm gonna draw a animal oracle card just to get their perception of your personality, basically. Take the top one of that. So we have beaver. And then we're going to draw some tarot cards. We'll take these 3. And I'm going to draw some other tarot cards just to get a clearer image of kind of it's from some different decks. And we'll take those 3. Okay. So I think that's all in the shot. So let's see. Let's take a look at how they view you, what they think of you, maybe even some of their motivations towards you. Let's see what we can see here. Okay, let's get into what this person thinks of you. So first we'll start with the beaver card over here. The beaver card indicates that this person feels like you build off a strong, steady foundation, that you really have like a secure kind of like base to work from. And so they see you as solid and reliable. They see you as like a solid, reliable person. That's basically how they view your personality, how they view you as if they were going to describe you to someone almost in an unbiased way, they would say, yeah, this person has a very strong sense of a foundation. They build on things slowly and surely. You know, you can work in different areas where like for beavers with dams and stuff, they work in rivers, right? So what they're working with, the water in the river is almost unstable. It's flowing in too many different directions, but the beaver is an earth creature, as you can see right up there by that earth sign. So this is the type of person who works well in the watery realms and the intuitive realms. But the thing is they build solid foundations despite the currents that are going around them. You can think of this as kind of like the King of Cups card, where he's like solid in the center and the water's all around him, kind of crazy. But with this, there's also another theme added here where it's like you're building foundations in this intuitive world, in this spiritual world, in this spiritual mindset. You're actually building something solid and earthy and foundational. They definitely, that shows up again right here with the 3 of Wands, where this is this card with this surfer. I imagine kind of like surfing the waves or going with the flow or going in and out of like the flow of kind of like, of your life and just being able to build around that flow. So they kind of see you as basically as being reliable, and all at the same time able to work well in like intuitive dimensions, in the kind of chaos of intuitive and spiritual dimensions. On one hand, they view you as very, like with the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles right here, they view you as very with it financially. Like they see you as someone who's like easily able to make money. They see you as someone who's kind of like very well off, very wealthy. You can easily make whatever you want happen. They just think that everything kind of falls in your lap that kind of like comes to you. We have on one hand the 9 of Pentacles, which traditionally represents like luxury and living a lavish life. And we also have the 9 of Cups here with the treasure chest in the background, which I'm really noticing. And that's just saying that they really believe that you have like all the wealth you need, that you kind of can make whatever you want happen for you. And if you're in a particular position with the beaver card, with the solid foundations, it's very purposeful energy. They see you as very purposeful, that if you want something to happen, you can make it happen. That's how they view you, that you kind of can like, whatever you want to happen in the world, you can achieve it. Now, it's interesting. I see that with the High Priestess in reverse, they see you as not really having too much knowledge, or kind of like esoteric knowledge. So they see you a little weak in the sense that like how you view spirituality and how you view spiritual concepts. They definitely see you like operating well in those spiritual worlds. But like I said, the beaver is an earth sign animal. So they see you as more earthy in nature and less watery and intuitive. They see you as kind of the one that builds the strong structure. And remember, beavers build dams. They're literally blocking off the flow of the water. So they see you as someone who kind of blocks off intuitive messages. And specifically, this could be their intuitive messages. If this person's very intuitive, or if they're in touch with intuition, they see you as blocking off these intuitive messages. So they see you as not really listening to these intuitive messages that could be coming to you, because you're so focused on building some kind of sense of security to blockade those messages from coming in. One thing that's like really great right here is with the Seven of Swords in the Tower, notice how this guy in the Seven of Swords he has these feathers and he's walking towards this tower where these people are falling off. One thing that they really admire about you that's coming through really strongly is that you're able to save people out of tricky situations. So they must have seen you in some way, shape, or form save someone from a tricky situation, because the Seven of Swords on one hand also can mean like deception, or deception's a harsh word for the Seven of Swords. I always call it the sneaky card, because it's about hiding certain things and then revealing other things. So definitely with the Seven of Swords in this tower right here, they definitely see you as someone who helps people out of disasters. And with the Beaver card right here, there's an implication or an implied sense that you're the type of person who sets up new foundations for people who've had disasters in their life. That's implied. I don't know if that's like how they view you, but that's implied as like your actual character of who you actually are, is that you kind of like set up these systems. Fun little side note for the reading. You actually set up these little systems with the Beaver card and the Tower right here, of like when the Tower is basically the foundational aspects of a person's life. When those come crumbling down, the Beaver kind of puts this new foundation in its place. So it's quite interesting. With the Seven of Swords and the Tower card, they do see you as sort of like a rescuer, that you're able to rescue people out of these tricky situations. So that's something that's quite interesting. Overall, they definitely see you as a very like earthy individual, very focused on practical type goals. They see you as being able to get whatever you want without a strong sense of intuition. They view you as kind of like not as intuitive as like maybe compared to some other people. There's just this strong sense of like you being able to get everything that you want, that they view in you, that you're kind of adaptable, go with the flow, yet at the same time able to build a solid, strong foundation. We have one cup card right here, the Nine of Cups, but because it's the 9 and 9s represent kind of more of a solitary, every 9 in the, tarot, there's only one person in the card. Like, for example, the 9 of Pentacles right here. There's this sense of like solitary aspects, and we didn't get a lot of cup cards, so I don't think this person views you in any sort of romantic way. I'm just sensing that this is just kind of like what they think of you. With the Three of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles right here, I'm definitely saying that this person can also think of you very highly. Like they're fond of you, they think highly of you. So just because they don't find you like an intuitive person, like maybe other people that they know, or that you lack sort of an intuition, they might see this as a slight downfall in your character. But at the same time, they still overall think very highly of you. They think of you as like a pretty admirable person, someone to look up to. Especially because of these traits right here with the Seven of Swords and the Tower. You definitely go about things in your own way. With the Seven of Swords, this can indicate more of like a shadow leader vibe, where you're like helping people behind the scenes rather than up front and being like, I'm the savior. You kind of help them in subtle ways, shapes and forms to help build more foundation in their life and get them out of the unstable foundation that they also dealt with. Yeah, very cool. I think that about covers it for this pile. Let me see if I can see anything else. Nope, I think that about covers it. So we're going to move on now to group number 2 with the rose quartz. Oh yeah, let me say my outro. Almost forgot. If you like this reading, feel free to like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick-a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. With that said, now we're going to move on to group 2 with the rose quartz. Thank you for letting me read for you guys. Bye. Hey, group 2, yeah, I was about to do 3 fingers and then I did 1 finger, but really it's 2 fingers because this is group 2 with the rose quartz. So group 2 with the rose quartz. I'll show you your stone real quick just so you, I don't know if you don't see it in the corner right there. So we're going to get an animal oracle card for how they generally perceive your personality. The last group card just flipped up right away, but this group, it looks like I might have to draw. Oh, we got one. Okay. And pull some tarot cards and take that one. I need 2 more. I'll pull for these ones. Let's pull from right here. And get some other tarot cards from my other tarot deck just to have like a little variety. Okay, let's flip up your cards. We have Deer, we have Page of Pentacles reversed, 6 of Pentacles reversed, Knight of Swords reversed, and for the other tarot cards, we have the Empress upright, Page of Cups upright, and the 7 of Cups upright. There is some interesting energy here. Okay, let's get into your reading. So first we have Deer here. This is just a general overview, this card right over here, of how they kind of view your personality in more of a general sense. So with the Deer card, we have I just realized in the last pile, I kept calling the beaver an earth animal, and it was actually a water animal. Whoops, I'll have to amend that in the, anyway, this deer right here is an earth. That's the actual earth sign. So Deer is an earth animals, but they view you as kind of like, in this weird way, they view you as kind of like, how do I put this? Defenseless, not necessarily naive, but they view you as kind of like almost helpless, or kind of like, how do I put this? There's a sense that they view you as like weak-willed, like there's something about being like I think it's an effeteness, is that the right word? There's kind of like an attitude of kind of like of a lack of strength. There's something of a gentle nature. Gentle is a good word to use. So for example, there's something of like a gentle nature about you. They view you as kind of gentle and a weaker and kind of like just in a sense like, how do I put this? I guess I'll just stick with gentle for now. They view you as very gentle. One thing I want to say, and I want to get off the reading right away, is there's a very high percentage of you where this person's actually attracted to you physically, because we have the Empress here, and that represents like beauty. And it just represents kind of like the Venusian, is that how you say it? Venusian kind of like attitudes that they have towards you. We also have Page of Cups, which means that they're like, they feel like there's like butterflies in their stomach, that they're kind of like surprised by their attraction to you. And that this kind of attraction is kind of like, it's almost taking them off guard, and it's making them feel a little like unsure of like what they've liked in the past, right? There's a sense of newness with this kind of attraction. But also we have the 7 of Cups here. So they also do view you as like 1 in a million, like not 1 in a million. They view you as like 1 of the million. Like they can easily find another person. So they're attracted to you, but they easily could like find another dating option if they wanted to. You know, they kind of view you as kind of like, oh, I could probably, like this person's like so different. But I think at this point in their life, this person, what they think of you is like, they don't know what to make of you exactly. With this 7 of Cups, like you could be any one of these types of cups, but there's this aspect, because it's the 7 of Cups, that they have like, could decide on many different partners. So this person's kind of unsure of you. They kind of don't know if you're exactly what they want, but they are definitely surprised by the connection. They're surprised by the fact that you have like come into their life and they have this attraction to you, I don't think that this person's usually attracted to more gentle, weaker, innocent type of people. This person's more of the type of like, I see them as being more like attracted to like stronger figures in their life. People who have more of like a, I don't know if backbone is the right word. People who have more of like a structure, like a thicker build, I guess you could say, like someone who has more of like a solidness about them. Yeah, it's interesting here. Their attraction's very, very interesting because on one hand we have like the two negative cards. It's kind of like how the things about you that they view negatively, and one is that they view you as kind of like immature in practical matters. With like they might view you as immature with money. They might view you as immature with kind of like that you need to be led or walked through things with like finances and stuff like that, or that you're like just don't have that much of a practical bone in your body. That you're kind of like, you know, trying to take care of things, but you like not doing so well at it, or you're just childish in that. They see you as kind of like, this is like naivete. Now, don't get me wrong. Even though they see you like this, they also view you in a very positive light. We have like 2 cup cards with the Empress. This person's definitely physically attracted to you. Well, for a high percentage of you, this is a general reading, but for a high percentage of you, this person's definitely very physically attracted to you. They have kind of like a stronger versus weaker mindset right here with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, where they almost want to take advantage of you. Like there's this aspect where they're kind of like, they see you as weaker and they know they're stronger, and so they almost like have this impulse. I don't think they want to act on it, but they have this impulse where it's like they feel that like, I could easily take advantage of this person. I could easily like almost like crush this person. There's an aspect of like almost like trying to take advantage of you because of that weaker financial sense that you have. There's like almost like they want to take advantage, but the problem is the thing is that that's holding them back from doing this is that they're so physically attracted to you and they're so surprised by this connection. You have definitely caught this person off guard. This person was not expecting this. This person was not expecting that you would be so like, I guess the spontaneous is the right word, or there's like the Page of Cups can also represent like synchronicities or serendipitous moments. Just surprise. There's just this sense of surprise that they have towards you that they're not really used to. Yeah, they're viewing you as like, you know, I think this is more of like their attitude than versus how they're viewing you. But what they think of you is that they could like easily find another one of you. But they're also very shocked that like they have not in the past been attracted to someone like your personality type in the past. So they're a little confused by this. But what they think of you, they're definitely, because of this confusion with the Knight of Swords in reverse, they're definitely really cautious. If you look at this card upright, this guy's like charging towards his motorcycle and there's a bird flying overhead. He has a crossbow, which just further indicates the point of like, that they're like, you know, think of the guy with the crossbow and the hunter and he's hunting the deer, further indicating that they kind of have this like power trip over you, that they kind of want to like, they don't want to take advantage of you. They just feel that instinct. They're like, okay, this person's weak in this area. I could easily like take advantage of them, you know, but they're not doing it because they're so physically attracted to you. Yeah, with the Knight of Swords, they're definitely being very, very cautious, you know. Think of like how a hunter hunts a deer and they have to be very quiet in the woods or the deer's going to run off, you know. They're very, very cautious. They're very, very careful. They understand all these power dynamics that are at play and they don't want to like hurt you or upset you because they're so attracted to you. They find you as like a really beautiful person, a very physically attractive person, someone they want to take care of, maybe nurture a little bit. But at the same time, the energies that are coming through in the negative realms of like the Page of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles reversed is that they kind of view you as like naive with practical matters and that they almost have an instinct where they want to like take advantage of you with the practical matters. Now, I don't want to like get too far into the future, but ways this could play out. They could play out that eventually this turns into help and they want to help you with these practical matters. They want to kind of like help you like understand them better, and it could turn into like a teaching mindset that would actually flip these up around and get you more focused on your financial potential and then more focused on helping you out of that situation. So because these are in reverse cards can indicate delays or blocks in a certain way, so it could indicate that they are actually going to change their tune in the future. But right now, what I'm seeing for the present moment, this is what they are thinking of you. This is how they think of you. Yeah, this card is the most like perplexing card because it's almost like they don't know what to make of you and they're almost like not sure what's going to happen. They're not sure especially with the Page of Cups too, they're not sure what type of personality you are, what you're going to present to them. There's an element of spontaneity here that they're not quite used to. They don't know how to deal with spontaneous things as easily as, you know, other people would with you, I guess is the best way to put it. So they're not really quite sure how to deal with you, but this is kind of what they think of you. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, group number 2. And if you like that reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. With that said, we're going to move on to group 3 with the blue Kyanite. Hey, group 3, if you picked the blue Kyanite, this will be your reading. So let's get into your reading, and right off the bat, we will draw a animal oracle card to get kind of like how they perceive you. Okay, we have starfish. I think I pulled starfish in another reading recently. If you have that group, comment down below. Okay, let's see. We're going to pull some tarot cards for the other feelings that they have towards you to get a little bit more of a clearer picture. What do they think of you? I said feelings because the last group had kind of like a very intense, emotional, attracted kind of connection. And lastly, we'll pull some tarot cards, some other tarot cards to get any more information for the blue Kyanite pile. Group 3. I keep feeling drawn to pull 2 that are back to back in the deck, and then pulling a third one that's kind of like in the middle of the deck. Like, I don't know why for this pile I was drawing like that. So maybe that has an influence on the reading. We'll see. Let me move these over a little bit. Is that better? It's more centered, right? Okay, so starfish is your general overview of your personality, how they view you. And then for your tarot cards, we have the sun, and we have the wheel, and then we have 4 of Wands reversed. And for the other tarot cards, we have death, upright, 5 of Pentacles, upright, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse with the Wheel of Fortune upright. Interesting. Okay, let's get into your reading. So first of all, with starfish upright, or well, all these animal cards would be upright, but starfish basically just indicates that they view you as kind of like a very open personality, and also the fact that your kind of personality stretches out into all different directions. We see that again here with the sun card. There's something about how they think of you. They think of you as like this very happy, positive, optimistic person. Like this person, the way they view you is kind of like you're the sun in their life. Like you're kind of like the sunshine. Like, how do I put this? Like, they could have gone through a very, very dark time in their past, and the fact that they're seeing you is like, wow, this person is like the sunshine. They're beautiful, they're wonderful, they're optimistic, they're happy, they're caring, they're just coming for me and showing me this positive way of like being. This person really views you very, very highly, very, very highly. Like that's something that's coming through with all the cards. They definitely view you as someone who is like the sun. Like as far as like the sun being, you know, the sun is kind of the center of our little universe. You know, we have the earth and all the planets and stuff, and everything revolves around the sun. So they see you as this thing that's like bigger. They see you as like main character energy, I guess is the best way to put it. They see you as someone who like things should just revolve around. Like they should be servicing you. They should be worshiping you. With the starfish here, this can also indicate like popularity or being like somewhat of like a popular person, and they really view you like that. They view you as this kind of like really kind of like almost charismatic person. It's funny, we got the blue Kyanite that can represent a crystal of charisma. But they really think of you as like this beautiful kind of like glowing, positive, overflowing ball of energy. And that's really cool with the starfish. They just view you so highly, and it's putting them under a lot of pressure, right? Because I think that this person, I know I'm not getting any cup cards, but there's something about commitment that's coming through with this pile. Like with the death card here, this person views you as like the next chapter in their life. Like something about you specifically means that like if they choose you, or if they're like with you, or they're like experiencing you, or the fact that you're in their life, they have to leave behind something permanently and put it like, you know, basically bury something that's going on in their life and leave it to like die, basically. And that's kind of with this positivity that you're showing them. They're like, wow, there's like another way. Like this struggles that I'm dealing with, there's another way. There's actually this positive aspect to life that I can like see now. And so this person views you as kind of like this person who's like a chapter marker, or someone who like represents the ending of maybe like a dark or traumatic period of your life. Remember, death card is also indicative of Scorpio, right? So this is also indicating like, you know, some like darker tendencies of like the mind or the psyche, or like digging into the deeper emotions with more of like a different kind of like undertone, like a darker undertone, you know? And this represents leaving these behind with the sun. This is moving into kind of like Leo energy, like positive, confident, charismatic. There's just this aspect that like they think that their life, like from this point on, since they know you, is going to be super positive, but they still have to make this choice. There's like a choice here for them where they have to leave this part of their life behind. They have to leave part of their life behind to like totally like embrace you. And this is not necessarily like, if you're asking who, you know, what do they think of you? And this is just a stranger or someone that like you don't know very well, you may have had like initial spark of positivity on their personality that had a kind of has them thinking like, wow, maybe I need to reevaluate the types of people in my life, or the types of people that I want in my life. You know, this type of person is like so positive and so like warming as a person, you know, and they're so charismatic. It's like, maybe I want someone like this in my life instead of the people I've been dealing with kind of currently. One thing though they do view about you with the wheels being upright and reversed here is there's this aspect of the Wheel of Fortune. Like imagine the Wheel of Fortune turning in all sorts of directions, right? Like they see you as the fact that like if they're with you, or you're someone basically where there's so many ups and downs, right? They view you as someone who's always positive, but as far as your fortune is concerned, what we see here with the Five of Pentacles, they view you as this kind of like up and down type of personality. So they may have seen you, I feel like this person may have seen you in a few different difficult situations, or situations where you were really, really low and then really, really high, all the while maintaining a smile on your face. But they definitely see you as someone who has like highs and lows and fortunes. You may have lost a lot of money or a lot of wealth or a lot of whatever around this person. It could be anything. It could be even your personality, like the way it like opens up and closes, like kind of like the starfish. Like maybe you're kind of like shining like the sun one moment, and then they view you as kind of like reserved the next. But there is an element with the Wheel of Fortune of cycles, or spinning, or the wheel going up and then down and then back up again. So we have that kind of element here of kind of like ups and downs in your mood or your personality. They're kind of viewing you like that. So they might either view you as moody, or with, I'm seeing, because there's not that many cup cards here, I don't see this as more moods. I see this as like fortune. So I see them as like, some days maybe you're like really affluent, you spend a lot of money on them, or maybe you're spending a lot of money, you're spending a lot of like your time and resources. And then the next day you're kind of like holding on tight to those resources and kind of being like, okay, I don't have a lot, or I'm broke right now. And then another day you're like fluently. Another day you're like frequently spending those resources, or you're like affluent. You're feeling very affluent. That's the word I was trying to say. With Four of Wands here in reverse, there is this element that they take you very seriously. Four of Wands is like an element of like a celebration. You know, with these people like celebrating, it's almost like they're having a party. There's a big festival tent over there, and there's music and they're dancing. They take you very seriously. This is not the type of person who wants to kind of like, they like that you bring this positivity into their life, but they take the relationship very seriously. They're not going to be ones to like squander it. It's almost like, how do I put this? They may have like dealt with kind of like a partying attitude in the past, like kind of like being in a place where they're like squandering their life away in like meaningless celebrations. Like the Four of Wands right here can represent like a meaningless celebration, or a meaningless party, or pleasure at all costs without kind of like a sense of like purpose, kind of like celebrating without a sense of purpose. And they see you as kind of bringing them this purpose, and at the same time bringing them this positivity and joy. So you're kind of like a mixed bag for them. You represent kind of like this happiness factor, and you also represent this factor of like taking things seriously and really like progressing towards your growth in a serious manner. I'm seeing the only really negative thing they view about you is this lid with the Wheel of Fortune here. There's this instability with the moods and with the Five of Pentacles. There's this element that they feel like with you, they might have to live a life where that, you know, they would be like extremely poor at some points in their life and then extremely rich at other points in their life. So there's this element where the finances could go up and down quite frequently, and they're a little nervous about that, I'm seeing. But the thing is, the main card that's coming through right here is the Starfish and the Sun. They're seeing you as someone who's like so popular, so expansive, so charismatic. And with the Sun card right here, they're viewing you as someone that brings that light to people, that positivity, you know? Whether other people view you like this or not, you might think to yourself like, oh, I'm not that much of a positive person, or maybe you're like, oh, I'm pretty moody all the time. The thing is with this person, they see you as sunshine. Something you do for them brings them that sunshine, brings them that light, and they see you as positive. Remember, this is what the specific person thinks about you. And they're definitely having that contemplation with the Death card, really like contemplating, like, should I leave these other aspects of my life behind and move forward with this one aspect? They're in this like debate stage right now with how they're viewing you. And you kind of give them this kind of like, it's like something that, you know, say you're going along your life and you're just like always eating chocolate ice cream, right? Like you've always had chocolate ice cream. You love chocolate ice cream. You just keep eating chocolate ice cream. But then all of a sudden someone's like, hey, try this strawberry flavor. And they put a spoonful of strawberry in your mouth. You're like, whoa, I like strawberry too. Almost maybe better than I like chocolate, but I'm so used to chocolate, you know, so, but if I choose strawberry, then I don't get to have the chocolate. Imagine someone like holding a gun to your head and being like, you know, for the rest of your life, you have to pick one flavor of ice cream. Is it either chocolate or strawberry? And they're like, I don't know. So that's kind of where the analogy where I'm going with this, with the Death card. It's almost like they feel like they have to make a permanent choice with you, or you represent like a permanent choice for them, basically. Overall, though, they view you as a very positive person, very happy person. They view you as someone who's like really popular, expansive, kind of can stretch out in all directions, be kind of everywhere at once. They do view you with those ups and downs, whether that's in your mood or your financial standing. I'm seeing more financial standing with the Five of Pentacles. But yeah, they take you very seriously. They really respect you as a person. So that's coming through too. All right, well, that was it for your reading, Group 3. If you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick-a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. We're always welcoming new subscribers here. With that said, we're going to move on to Group 4 with the Yellow Apatite. Hello, Group 4. This is if you picked the Yellow Apatite right here. So this will be your reading. We're going to pull an Animal Oracle card to start off with how they just in general perceive you. Then we're going to pull some tarot cards for more of the specifics. So what does this person think of you for you, the Yellow Apatite Group 4 pile? Let's see. Let's see if one pops out. I'll shuffle a little bit more, and if it doesn't, I'll just draw. Okay, we got the Lizard card. Now we're going to pull some tarot cards. It's a very tarot heavy pile today. We got Temperance. I have to draw the next two. We have the Empress reversed. And we're going to draw the last one. We have the Eight of Wands reversed. And then we're going to draw some more tarot cards. That one, put that over there. And we have this card. And let's see if we have... Oh, and I'm taking that one. Wow, the whole deck flew out. So there's a lot of like intense feelings here. There's a lot of like interesting energy in this pile. Okay, let me flip over the rest of your cards. So far we have the Lizard, Temperance, Nine of Wands, and the Empress reversed. Let me pull these all over this to this side. So we got, you know, it's more centered in the screen. That'd be probably better for you guys, right? Okay, so let's flip over your other tarot cards. We have the Five of Wands upright, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I'm sensing kind of like either an enemy or a frenemy type relationship. But it's very odd. We have the Temperance card here as well. But I'll get into that. Okay, yeah. So we definitely have like a, I don't know how to explain this. This is, I mean, I do know how to explain it, but okay. So it's basically like a frenemy situation. It's kind of like one of those sort of situations, right? Where you guys are both opposites, but opposites in a very incompatible way. So with the Lizard card right here, they see you as someone that's in a sense like cold-blooded. So they don't see you as having too many emotions, too many like, they see you as kind of like, the only way they see you is like being able to get emotional or to get emotions, which this may or may not be true about you. Like I said, this is just what they think of you. This might not be the actual truth of who you are. So keep that in mind. If you want actually to see more things about like why people find you attractive or readings of that nature, or like more accurate perceptions of yourself, I have other readings that are about that. Instead of like how this person's thinking of you, you can actually see like what you actually represent to most people, you know, not just this person. With a Lizard, they see you as kind of cold-blooded. They see you almost as like you have to get into a positive, warm atmosphere in order to lighten up, to brighten up. So they see you as not being able to self-generate your own warm blood, essentially. They see you as not being able to generate your own warmth or your own sense of positivity in the kind of connection or with them. They see you as kind of like having to feed off the positivity of others. So you can't just be happy on your own. You have to literally bask in kind of like the happiness of others in order to be happy yourself. So to them, I can see this is like slightly frustrating. They wish that you could just self-generate your own positivity. And that's just how they perceive it. You actually might be a very happy person, right? You might be very happy, but they just view you as the type of person who you can't generate your own positivity. You have to literally find happiness in other people in order to like survive. With the Temperance card here, they definitely see you as their opposite. We have the sun and the dark ball over here. So there is sort of like a somewhat of an attraction here, a focus on like the fact that you're so different from them. But it's almost like they don't view you like that positively. So there's a weird attraction where I feel like they think they can learn from you. There's something about that coming through where they feel like they can learn from you, but they're like, I don't know if they're nervous to make a move. They also see you as a competitor, what we see here with the Five of Wands. And with the Empress card in reverse, they're not that attracted to you. They're not like physically attracted to you. They don't find you like physically beautiful. Which is like I'm saying, there's a lot of this stuff with this person that I'm sensing is very, very subjective, right? Like this person has a very subjective opinion of you that's not necessarily objectively true. So keep that in mind throughout this reading. You're probably a very beautiful person, you know. This person just is not attracted to you physically. That's just what the cards are saying. This person is just not attracted to you physically. They see you as someone who like is dedicated and like does things for a long period of time, but they see that it wears you out and they just kind of wish like, well, why can't they just do something different if they want to move on, or if they want to do something different, why don't they just pick up and move on and do something different? They see you as someone who's kind of like worn out, beaten down. And they're also, there's a sense of this competition with you. There's a sense of like, they feel like that with you, you would have kind of like arguments with them, or that maybe you're argumentative, but for the most part, I'm just saying that they don't really see you as argumentative so much. It could be for some of you, but for most of you, it's just that they view you as competition. They view you as like, this person's my competition. They're kind of like taking up the same space I'm in. I want to kind of like, you know, get where they're at, or I want to kind of like take their resources or something like that. There's something about competition here where they view you kind of like in that kind of light. With the Eight of Wands, in reverse, you might notice that this person is kind of trying to speed you up. This person's trying to like make things happen around you or something like that. This person seems very kind of chaotic in general. Like the person thinking about you seems chaotic, but they're kind of like upset with your kind of like slow energy. The interesting thing is you have the Lizard card, and this is something about your personality, not what they think of you, that you're actually can move into action very, very quickly, but you wait for the right time. Lizard cards wait for the right time to move into action, right? And that's kind of something they don't understand. They're just kind of like, why can't they just move right away? Why can't they just get quick? Why can't they move quickly? Why can't they do this right now? You know, and with the Eight of Wands in reverse, they're not seeing that speed of action that they want to see in you. They're kind of like, why can't they just be, there's a lot of this person thinking like, why can't this person just be different? Why can't you be different? Why can't you be a different way? There's a lot of that kind of like that. First of all, if you're trying to get into a relationship with this person, I would not recommend it, because this person will be constantly trying to change you. Plus, they're not that physically attracted to you. That's not a recipe for something that's going to be connected over the long haul. With the Knight of Pentacles card, this is just showing their general impatience of the slowness of the connection, right? It makes them kind of speed up and make more careless mistakes by viewing you as slower than them. Let's see what else. Yeah, I'm not saying too much else of like how they think of you. Yeah, it's almost like with the Five of Swords and with the Knight of Pentacles right here and almost the Eight of Wands, I'm getting a strong indication that you might be in the same space as this person at the same time. So there might be times where you're like in the same space they want to go. They might like walk into a room and you're like there, and they might look a little disappointed, like, oh, I can't even be in the space that I wanted to be in because this person's in my space. You know, like this is definitely someone who kind of is a little irritable in that regard. The thing is with the Lizard card and the fact that you're always in the right place at the right time, you are in a way like always where it's at, and they're like a little jealous of that. Like they're kind of like, why are they always in the right place at the right time? Like I want to be in that right place at the right time, you know? But at the same time, they see you as not moving on from things that wear you out, wear you down. You kind of stick in one place too long. So they're kind of like frustrated. Imagine like going to a coffee shop and your favorite seat in the coffee shop is taken by someone else, and they're like, okay, well, maybe if I come back later, they'll be gone. And they try to come back later and you're still there at the spot. You found the right time to get to the spot and you're just staying in that spot, kind of like resting there, I guess as you could say, basking in the warmth, you know? In some truth to this person might also be very cold-blooded, and this might be a projection on you. They might view you as someone who needs to soak up the warmth when they themselves need to soak up the warmth of others as well. Yeah, I think that's all I'm getting for this pile. Like I said, this is how someone else views you. This is not how you truly are. So don't start thinking you're like this type of person, because that's not true. This is just how they perceive you. This is just what they think of you. So with that said, we're going to end the readings there. If you like that reading, feel free to like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. With that said, we're going to end the readings there because that's the last one. So I will see you guys later. Thank you for letting me read for you. Goodbye. Have a good day or night, and see you later.